I'm not a lawyer, but it can't be a good sign if the jurors are saying that they won off the case. It's day 156 in the YSL RICO trial, and one of the jurors has written the judge a letter.
Takes care of that. But, of course, we have another issue because we can't have more than one normal no-issue trial day in a row. So I have an email from one of the jurors this morning. Interestingly, he sent two different drafts of it. The first says, it's to my assistant, when you have a moment, please relay this to the judge. Good morning, Judge Whitaker. I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I can no longer be unbiased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants.
I want to know what specifically happened yesterday that he's referring to.
Thanks. But then that's not what he really meant to send, because he said, I didn't mean to send this version, not the other one, with a minor correction. Hope all is well. When you have a moment, can you relay this email to the judge? Good morning, Judge Whitaker. I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I will be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. Thanks. Now, this is the same juror who a few months back asked to be removed from the case and provided no reason whatsoever, and so I just ignored it. I just said, no, you're not removed. Doesn't work that way. And so I think this is just a ploy to get off of a case that he's sick of being on because it's taking up his time. Obviously, we can have him out and privately, not with the other jurors around, and ask whatever questions we want of him. Willing to hear what anybody has to say about it.
I don't know from the court's perspective if this would be appropriate, but I would have no objection to informing this juror that it might not be 3 to 6 months. And I think it might not be 3 to 6 months or whatever he said. And I think that is accurate and honest at this point.
I mean, I think it would be fair to say we have no expectation that it'll be another 3 to 6 months.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
He said that he is biased
Towards any decisions, whatever that means.
right, but he said it, but he specifically talked about the state and how the state is cleaning up his case. So therefore, the state would have some concern with the juror not being able to remain fair and impartial, given what his language was. He didn't say to either side. He said specifically to the state.
No, he didn't. He said, I will be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. And frankly, you have to start a case unbiased, but as you listen to the evidence, as long as you don't deliberate with anybody, you can mull the evidence in your own mind. And frankly, if y'all are presenting the case in a way that is driving a juror crazy, that's on you.
Shady Whitaker at it again.
And I understand that, but if he is,
Hilton, we cannot hear you, girl. Use the mic.
it appears that his thoughts at this point is that and maybe that's what we need to ask him, whether or not he still be fair and impartial.
I mean, I certainly think that would be appropriate. So I'm looking for some kind of the general language that we give about needing to decide the case based on the evidence. So once I find that, we'll get him out and y'all can ask whatever questions you want.
So Judge Whitaker is looking for whatever she's looking for as they prepare to call this juror out. But look, I want to know what Doug and Max are saying to each other after that news.
So I am in receipt of a correspondence from you this morning. I'm actually in receipt of both versions of it because you sent one and then you adjusted it. And my assistant had already sent that one to me, so I have both. And you seem to be expressing concerns about the length of the trial. And I've discussed that with all of the attorneys, and we all feel comfortable representing that it's almost certain that this trial will be over far before 3 to 6 months have elapsed. I think it is probable that it will be over before the end of this year. So I'd like to find out whether that assuages any of your concerns.
Given that you said probable, and I'll keep it as is, but I will, if it prolongs, then I will send out a correspondence if it goes into 2025.
All right. Let me ask you as well. You said that first you said you could no longer be unbiased, and then you said that you would be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Is that because of your worries about how long the case might take?
Yes.
Okay.
I projected it when we first began this entire case, we were projected to be in 6 months, and then to a year.
Yeah.
And then given the circumstances in between, personally, I just feel like it's just too long.
Yeah.
I love what I do for a living. I miss what I do.
Yeah.
And it's been hindering a lot of things with family and friends. And
Yeah.
things. And so since you used probable in the sentence, and so therefore I can we're assuring that this will probably go for the 2024 year, then therefore I can still stay on board.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple of other things as well. I know that you were instructed with some version of entering the case and considering the evidence with an open mind and not reaching any final conclusions until the trial is over with. Can you continue to assess the evidence with an open mind?
Given the information that we've just discussed, then yes.
All right. Okay, and can you decide this case based only on the evidence that is presented in the law that I give you, and not on whether you like or dislike anybody's presentation style?
Since you work that way, then yes, I can go along with that.
All right.
I'm shooting for 2024 just to be.
All right. Do any of the attorneys have questions for this juror?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right.
I do not.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll excuse you to the jury room, and we'll have y'all all back in just a minute. Thank you.
Ciao. Simone Hilton, okay, the state just said that they are planning to rest their case next week or the week following.
All right, I really would, as we're moving forward, let's really try to make the most of every day. And I'd rather go closer to 6 than closer to 5 so that we can, get done at some point.
Well, Your Honor, I do believe that it's a very strong likelihood that the state will rest, if not by the end of next week, by the following week. So,
Okay,
I mean,
well, that would be good. I'm just trying to factor in the fact that we've got jury charges that I do not think are going to be the most simple any of us have ever tackled, and that's going to take some time, and we've got holidays, and anyway, we can deal with all that later, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, ready for the jury.
I could cry. I could absolutely cry.